we know what endocrine disrupting chemicals are and where they can be found, let's kind of talk about how they work. This is the part that I've never really like dug into, but it's an important piece to understand. So endocrine disruptors work in a few different ways. One way is that they actually mimic natural hormones. So our bodies produce natural hormones. But because they mimic them, this means that they can actually trick your body into responding to a hormone that actually isn't present. So this could result in an over response or in your body responding appropriately. Okay, so think like adrenal fatigue. That is one that can cause, that can be caused by endocrine disruptors. Endocrine disruptors also have chemicals that can stimulate or repress your endocrine system, which leads to your body either overproducing or underproducing certain hormones. This can cause issues with being able to lose weight, sleeping, like all kinds of things. And some endocrine disrupting chemicals will actually even block the receptor site for the hormone. So this means that even if your body's producing the right kind of hormone and the right amount of a specific hormone, it can't actually bind to the receptor to have its intended effect. So those are the few ways that endocrine, like how they work, like what they do in our bodies, which is kind of crazy, right? So considering that hormones are literally chemical messengers that tell our cells what to do and how to do it, so things like regulating metabolism, growth and development, tissue function, sexual function, fertility is a huge one. If you are struggling or you know somebody struggling with getting pregnant, removing as many endocrine disrupting chemicals is so important. But it can also affect sleep and mood, right? So it's safe to say that we can probably all agree that we do not want anything interfering with our hormone balance, right? None of those things we want to be affected because they all matter in our ability to function properly. So what are some of the things that endocrine disruptors have been linked to? Obviously, hormone imbalances, thyroid disorders, PCOS, uterine fibroids, endometriosis, early onset of puberty for girls, fertility problems, reproductive related cancers, breast cancer, and even obesity, which is crazy. So some endocrine disruptors are actually classified as obesogens. Who knew? Not me. So when our hormones are out of whack, we can just experience all kinds of things. Like we can experience issues with our skin. We can experience sleep problems, the inability to gain weight or to lose weight, poor sleeping, right? Like we don't sleep well. All of these things can be related to our endocrine system being off balance. And most of the time, I don't feel like it's just one thing, but that is a huge part, right? Like that's a huge part of it. And so there's a lot of ways that you can reduce the toxin load, especially the endocrine disrupting chemicals. But I think that we often overlook detoxing our skincare, right? Like, because it's kind of like, I don't know, we just don't think about it. But this is a huge part of like helping create a balanced hormone system. Because think about it, like our skin is our largest organ and it absorbs about 60% of what we put on it. And there are studies out there that show that women actually put like an average of 150 chemicals on their face and skin a day. A day. Can we just sit and think about that for a second? How many years have you been putting skincare on your skin? That is a lot of chemicals.